what's one simple thing or one simple way to make digital messaging feel more human without adding more time and more stuff to do in our work routine?
I love that question because we definitely do not need to add more to our work routine for sure. Most of us are already pushing the limit. But I always say that the please and thank you are still the magic words. And I do three things when I send my emails. Obviously, the spell check, we all do the spell check, of course. But then in addition to that, I do what I call a kindness check. Is there somewhere in the email a please or a thank you? And I think that humanizes it. It makes it more approachable. And it's a big difference between saying, get this to me Friday versus please get this to me Friday. Thanks so much for your help. So I think that would be one little thing we could do without adding a whole lot to our to-do list.
One of the challenges in digital communication, written, I use a lot of audio, is that there is no texture, there is no context, there is no tone. And so if the core of the message, Sarita, is I need this by Friday, but there's like, hey, could you please get this by Friday? Or we need this by Friday. Is that possible? Please let me know.
Yes.
And you eliminate all that and you just leave the essence of it. I need this by Friday. It can land kind of in an unknown manner. It can land, some people receive that as a directive, no problem, just the facts, ma'am, and get right to it. Others are like, hey, wait a minute, you're not my boss, or
right.
This is news to me, on and on like that. So, that tone is so decisive, right?
It is, and it's lost. So much of that's lost in our emails. When you talk about you're not the boss, I have to laugh because it reminds me of growing up as the oldest of four children. And my two younger sisters and my younger brother would always say, you're not the boss of me. And I always feel like my quest in life has been how not to invoke you're not the boss of me reaction. So is there a way that we can say, as you say, please let me know if this works, or let me know what works for you. Or I always like to say, would you be willing to? So I think inviting the other person's input is a great way to not try to be the boss of someone. Because most of the time we're collaborating with colleagues. We're not their boss.
Right. And if you're the person who is giving the directive, I mean, it is work. There are responsibilities and there are deadlines. And if a task arrives at the point where somebody has to, I don't love the word micromanage, but check in, they're also not meter checkers, like just writing a number down. But if the deadline has passed or is approaching and there's no draft or something hasn't been available for review or taking a look at it, there's that fine line between, hey, it's due, where is it? As opposed to, we need that. When do you think you're going to be able to get it to us? The deadline passed. On the one hand, you want to be sweet and nice, but on the other hand, it's your job and you passed the deadline. So how do you kind of thread that needle?
Yeah. Well, I'm always known for my top 10 positive communication phrases. That's one of my signature pieces in my keynotes. And one of my favorite phrases for what you're talking about is phrase number 5, which is, would you be willing to? Being able to say to them, would you be willing to get back to me as to when you'll have this finished? Would you be willing to give me an update? Would it be possible to? All the cousins of would you be willing to? Would you consider like this? And I feel like sometimes when we ask questions, it allows the other person to respond without feeling attacked or, as you say, micromanaged.